Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the M&K Productions Podcast. I'm joined here by my co-host with the most, Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. Say hi to the folks at home, Kristen.
Hey, hey, hey. How you doing, Mac?
I'm doing good, doing good. I haven't heard that since like Fat Upward. Hey, hey, hey. Good old days. But we're not here alone this time. We are joined by a special guest. Now, this is breaking a little bit of a trend because we usually have him on for the Oscars. So it's like a yearly appearance you'll see him. He comes from the mist. But this time, we wanted to bring him on for a special movie that we're going to be covering today. And that is the great Jackie K. Cooper. Welcome back to the
Yeah,
show, man.
Hello, hello, hello. That's glad to see y'all.
glad to see you too, Mr. Cooper. How you doing?
I'm
Happy
doing great.
spring.
This is fun.
Oh,
I
this is
got really
fun.
excited when you invited me to come on and do this. This is good.
Well, after we talked about the Oscars, Mac and I were like, well, we gotta have you on. And then we were naming off movies. And then I remember you being like excited for Novocaine. And you were like, oh, I want to see that. So, what a perfect movie to have you on and talk a great Jack Quaid movie. So, we are so happy to have you on.
Well, I am glad to be here. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah, of course. Happy spring and happy pre-summer movie season. So, a
Yes.
lot of new movie news to talk about.
It was a big week last week. CinemaCon was taken over. A lot of new news came out for sequels and release dates. We finally got a release date for Into the Beyond the Spider-Verse. I have to be alive for at least 2 more years to see the epic trilogy the end, and I'm so excited. But everything's been going well. And I was gonna say, Jackie, last time we were on when we did talk about the Oscars, was there any surprises from your predictions that you made that came true, or some shocks last time we talked?
I honestly did not think Honora was going to win Best Picture. I did not. I did not. I thought Demi Moore was going to win Best Actress.
That's
She
what a
did.
lot of people thought. That's what a lot of people thought, but I was joking around. I posted a video where my dog predicted who was going to win Best
I
Actress,
saw that.
and she picked. My dog went to the plate that had Mikey Madison written on it and had all the treats on it, like her little dog food. So she picked Mikey as the winner. So Molly was right.
There
That's
she
like
goes.
that's like another time. She got it right once. I think she got it right previously when Coda won back in 2022.
All
She
right, I
picked the
can see
right.
it. Right, I can see it now. Y'all aren't going to have me back for the Oscar show next year. You're going to have Molly.
Yes, Molly will be picking our Oscar winners going forward. She did pick though, I forgot which one she picked Best Picture, but it was not Amelia Perez. So, but
Oh, man.
anyways, Mac, we have a fun show planned, right? We're going to talk some movie news, and like I mentioned, we're going to talk Novocaine. So, I think we should just jump right on into it and talk some movie news. You ready?
Yes, let's get right into the news.
This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
All right, so movie news starting off for tonight. I think we talked about this a while ago. You brought this up, Kristen. Sam Mendes is bringing the Beatles to life in
Yes.
2028 with quote unquote the first time a theatrical binge watch. I don't know what that means, but all four movies about the Beatle members are coming in 2028, and we have our Beatles. Are y'all ready for this cast list? You already know it. I'm gonna repeat it for the audience at home. We got Paul
I
Mescal.
don't know.
You don't know it, Jackie?
Nope.
Oh,
Oh, this is
So
so,
heartbreaking news
this
to
is
you
great.
then.
Breaking news for me.
so we have. I need to make sure I have the names right. I just want to make sure that I make sure I get the Beatles written because the fans will kill me. All right. So we have Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Harris Dickinson as John Lennon. Oh my God, get the privacy terms out of my face. Joseph Quinn as George Harrison and Barry Keegan as Ringo Starr.
All right. Who is the George? Who's playing George?
That's Joseph Quinn, Eddie from Stranger Things, and Johnny
All
Snow,
right.
the upcoming Fantastic Four film. So
All
yeah,
right.
we got our
A
Beatles.
great cast.
I think it's pretty good, but I know the Beatles have faced some controversies as themselves as figures. I think the most interesting story that everybody's gonna have their eyes on uh, is John. the person who's going to play John. Who's playing John again? Remind me.
It is going to be John Lennon is being played as by Harris Dickinson.
I think there's going to be eyes on that one, and then Paul Mescal's character, because I think he's playing Paul McCartney, right? I think it's
Yes.
really those two. And Barry Keoghan. Remind me again who he's playing, because I really
He's
remember.
Ringo Starr. He's
Oh my
Ringo.
God.
He's gonna be the most unhinged one in them films. Man,
Yes.
that Ringo movie's gonna be awesome. Seeing what he did in Saltburn, I just need to repeat as that.
I just think Ringo Starr has the funniest memes out there. If you go online, there's some really funny Ringo Starr memes if you
Yeah.
can find them. But I think the cast is good. But Jackie, I see you wanting to say something. What?
Well, I just, they're going to be 4 movies, right?
Yes.
I-
Released at the same time.
What does each movie focus on a specific plot twist, or like is one John and Yoko, is one the early Beatles, is one we're going to America, is there another one, the breakup of everything?
I'm sure it's gonna go all over that, but I guess from different perspectives from all 4 characters.
I probably wouldn't be surprised if the Lennon movie was last.
I don't think it should be like a binge. I feel like they should have, like, when it was released, like a couple months, like 3 months. You have to see the Lennon movie, then you have 3 months to see the Ringo movie, then you have 3 months to, like, they should separate out, instead of having it all in one theater, because that's a lot. People are gonna just pick the best one to go see in theaters, and then the other one's not gonna make as much. But it's an interesting experiment, I will say.
Well, but if the first one, for whatever reason, bombs, then that's like Kevin Costner's Horizon.
That is true.
Or Strangers Chapter 1.
Well, now we're getting that in September.
Yeah, let's go.
Jackie, did you see The Strangers Chapter 1 with
Chapter
Madeline
1.
Pettit?
I saw Chapter 1. That was the one
With Madeline Pettish. She's got she's got red hair.
I thought the
She's
Stranger
from Riverdale.
is the one with Liv Tyler.
Oh,
The
no.
first one, yeah. They came out with the new.
They came out with the newer one with
last
some.
year.
Yeah.
I saw the first one with Liv Tyler. I did not see the second.
Okay, no, okay. The
The
newer.
first one scared me so badly.
Yeah,
I do not like any violence that is random.
yeah. Yeah, so you're not a fan of The Purge then, the first Purge movie?
I remember that. I remember that. But let me, y'all are many generations down the line. For me, does your generation care that much about the Beatles?
Oh yeah, there's some
Yeah.
And I think knowing that the cast who is behind this, knowing Barry is behind this, knowing that Paul Mescal is behind this, if people don't understand the impact of the Beatles or who they were or their background, they're gonna go see it because of the actors. Because it's good young casting, just to say the least.
That and if they take a page of the Bohemian Rhapsody's playbook, where a lot of people who saw Bohemian Rhapsody, they weren't really fans of Queen, but if you make the performances so good in the film, like with the musical acts and everything, people will still go. It's like, oh yeah, like the scene in Bohemian Rhapsody Live Aid, that's like people's favorite scene. So if they have a scene like this in the Beatles movie, I think they'll probably be well with that as well too.
Yeah.
But then you have, in my estimation, in my recollection, the Elton John movie.
Oh, Rocket Man, yes, I love
Rocket
that.
Man.
I love Rocket Man. That was a great movie.
I enjoyed it. I really did, but it wasn't a huge success.
That's true.
It didn't do what they thought it would, and that was Elton John.
If you want to talk about one that didn't do really well in terms of biopics, Better Man.
I love Better Man.
I know, we loved
That
it.
poor
We also
movie,
loved.
that did not make any. I feel bad for that movie. It was generally good. It just made no money.
I have yet to watch it. I know it just became available on Paramount Plus, and I didn't get to watch it yet.
I love it, love it, love it.
Alrighties, moving on to my piece of news if you're ready to talk about it. Speaking of the Oscars, since we did have you on, Jackie, to discuss the Oscars, did you know somebody turned down the role that Kieran Culkin played? And it wasn't originally set to star Kieran Culkin in the role that he won his Oscar for. An actor by the name Eric Andre reveals he turned down Kieran Culkin's role in A Real Pain.
Wait, like the Eric Andre show, Eric Andre?
Yes.
All right, refresh me here. I don't know Eric Andre. I know the name, but
Eric Andre is known for the Eric Andre Show, which is like a crazy comedic comedy talk show, even if you want to call it a talk
It's like
show.
shock value, like unscripted. They bring
He
real
said
celebrities.
that he turned down the Kieran Culkin role.
Yep.
Any comment come from Kieran Culkin or Jesse Eisenberg? Because didn't Jesse Eisenberg say that he wrote the role with Kieran Culkin in mind?
I guess so. And then Kieran, I think, turned down the role at first. And then he had to offer it to somebody else. But I'll go over the article. This is coming from Deadline, reading it off of Deadline. A real pain point for Eric Andre is missing out on the eventually Oscar-winning role taken by Kieran Culkin in Jesse Eisenberg's moving drama about two cousins journeying through Poland while learning about their family roots and the Holocaust. The comedic heavyweight revealed that the writer-director offered him the supporting part 2 years ago, reflecting on it, passing up the opportunity as it seemed like a real bummer at the time. He says in a podcast that he did, Whiskey Ginger podcast, do you want to know a effing doozy? 2 years ago, Jesse Eisenberg calls me, offered me the role that Kieran Culkin got the Oscar for. I was like, that seems really miserable and not in my lane. I read the script and I was like, to go to Poland for 6 weeks and shoot a movie where we're just babbling about the Holocaust seems like a bummer. And I want to focus on, at that point, the host of the podcast, Andrew Santino, said, he jumped in with a joke and said, that was original title, babbling about the Holocaust. He was joking around that. Andre continued, I was like, I appreciate the offer. I'm sure it's going to be great. I don't think that's what I'm looking for right now. That mother effer won an Oscar for the role I passed up on. And it's not like I get offered roles constantly. I'm not effing Leonardo DiCaprio. He started to say Leonardo DiCaprio.
That movie, if he was in that role, that movie would be fucking awful. I'm sorry.
I can't see Eric Andre.
I like Eric Andre works
character.
in his own lane because I did like that movie Road Trip he did with Lil Rel Howard and Tiffany Haddish. Like that was like okay, but his style of film is like hidden camera, prank stuff like that. Because he was in the new Jackass movie. Like him to be in a movie, like it's bad. You know when like you see an actor and you're like remember when Chris Rock was in Spiral? He's a comedic actor.
Yes.
You're trying to take him seriously. If Eric Andre was in a real pain, then it's just like oh, it's this guy who talking about time to deliver a pizza ball, talking about the Holocaust. Like it just doesn't work.
Jackie, to give you more of an understanding who Eric Andre is, he was in the live action remake of The Lion King. He was one of the hyenas.
Right.
Okay. He's been in a lot of other like comedy.
Come on, wait a minute. Seriously, do you really think that Jesse Eisenberg, who has written this movie and has everything invested in it, and it's a small movie, and he needs all the help he can get, is going to offer it, it sounds like, without screen testing or anything, to Eric Carmen or whatever his name is?
Eric Andre. I think he
Andre?
should have at least done an audition before offering it because it could have been an interesting role for Eric. But knowing that he's like, oh yeah, this is a sad movie. Okay, yeah, it is a sad movie. But you need to bring the dramatic and comedic timing for it. And I guess Jesse Eisenberg had faith in him, knowing that he could potentially do it. Because I haven't seen Eric Andre in a dramatic, comedic role. You know, I've only seen him doing all the pranks. You know, that's like how at least Mac and I know him from, like doing, you know, the prank panel. You remember that, Mac, with Johnny Knoxville? That was like an ABC. That was an ABC show. It was like, and it had Nicole Breyer. That it got canceled.
Okay, I just know him as just he's not a comedic. I mean, he's not a dramatic guy. Like
No,
you're wrong.
he's not.
It just
Go ahead, Matt.
oh no, it just wouldn't have worked. It's like Kieran Culkin, I agree with Jackie. That seemed like a role where Jesse's like, I want you for this, like in mine. It's like the author for Princess Bride, when they started making the film, he said there's one person for the giant, Andre the Giant. Like I wrote it for him. It's like some movies where when you're a writer, you already know who you want for that. And I think Kieran Culkin was perfect just for that because that part felt like it was for him, like from the get go.
One other thing, to me, the role that Kieran Culkin plays is such a tight wire. You know, you can either fall off on the comedy side or you can fall off on the dramatic side. You've got to keep that balance and able to go either way. You have to follow that character. And it was brilliant the way he did it because one minute you hated him, the next minute you loved him, the next minute you're emotionally depressed by what he goes through. Then he's got you laughing at some other antic. It was a brilliant performance, and it took a really, really good actor to pull off that balance.
Yeah. So Eric Andre turned down the opportunity to work with Jesse Eisenberg. Mac, what's your last piece of news?
What a what a what a sight with that. Good God, that sounds awful. Anyway, my last news piece, guys, the Minecraft movie, it's out. It's a movie. It has Jack Black. He just says names of the things in the Minecraft movie. You know, the silly kids with their craft of mine. I play real games. I play Command and Conquer and The Sims. But man, the movie's making money because at the time of this recording,
Big money.
Go ahead.
Big money.
Big money, yeah. At the time of this recording,
Big money.
we're ending its opening weekend. It's April 6th right now. It has grossed $301 million worldwide with a $58 million opening day, which is tops, I believe it's in the highest grossing video game adaptation opening weekend, I believe. Domestically, it's made $157 million, and worldwide, it has hit $144 million. So I made more money than Snow White. So Snow White's done. Good run. But
Been there, done that.
yeah. But guys, what do you think about the Minecraft movie making buku bucks? Was this something you predicted, or was this kind of something where you're like, how's this making all this money so fast?
What surprised me is that what's his name, Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Jack Black is an intermittent actor. I mean, he goes off and does his music. He goes off and does a whole lot of other things, and then he pops up in a movie, and then he goes off and does other stuff. Comes back. I'm a big Jack Black fan. Jason Momoa, I'm neutral as far as he's concerned in his career.
Mm-hmm.
I felt I am not a gamer. I don't know anything about the games. The kids, when I saw it in the movie, were loving everything, every crazy blockheaded character that appeared thrilled them. And I couldn't keep up with my plot. I'm asking my wife, are they good bad guys or bad guys? We're trying to figure out the whole thing. I thought it was a little bit chaotic. I wanted to see more Jack Black and less of everybody else.
Oh, okay. You like Steve because that's the name of the character that Jack Black plays. He was known as Steve. Everybody was freaking out when it was announced that he was going to play Steve. I don't really care to see it. I'm just gonna wait till streaming. Like, I'm not surprised it's doing well because I've been seeing a lot of kids like buy their tickets.
Movies really needed to be something to come along to perk up the box office because
Yeah, Disney thought they were gonna do that with Snow White, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
But I don't know. I'm not surprised with Minecraft because I've played a little bit of Minecraft growing up, and
it's been around for such a long time too. Like I knew of it since like over 10 years ago.
I think it came out originally in 2011, 2010. So a lot of kids my age in school then we're adults now. We may have had kids or, just get nostalgic. And I know some people were saying like, oh, this is like the wrong time. This came out a little bit too late. And I kind of agree because I'm like, if this came out around like 2015, 2016, it would have been $1 billion movie. But the way it's going, it could hit almost $500 million if it keeps getting money. Because even the people who are saying like, oh, it's not good, there's still people who are seeing it unironically and both unironically.
Yeah, so I think that's the reason. I think it's not going to make quite $1 billion. I think it'll make close to, because I think this is what's going to keep April satisfied up until Thunderbolts comes out. I don't know how well Sinners will do financially, when that gets released. If Minecraft is the movie for April, then so it be, and then Thunderbolts will just take over once the next month rolls around.
Well,
know?
releasing it last weekend was great because it had no competition.
No,
Yeah.
no
And
competition.
next week, it really has no competition.
No, I guess if you could say the specialty, because Warfare is coming out for May 24, and that
But
looks awesome.
it looks
So,
good, but will it have like the appeal as like the Minecraft?
no.
Yeah.
Alrighties, but I want to talk about one family movie that we have talked about a couple of times on this podcast. Coyote versus Acme. Warner Brothers has sold the shelved project to Ketchup Entertainment. They completed the deal for worldwide rights to the live-action animated hybrid film that brings the Looney Tunes characters from Wild E. Coyote to the big screen. There was a $50 million range, and the film was expected to get a theatrical release in 2026. Garth West, CEO of Ketchup Entertainment, has announced, "We are thrilled to have made a deal with Warner Brothers Pictures to bring the film to audiences worldwide. Coyote versus Acme is a perfect blend of nostalgia and modern storytelling, capturing the essence of the beloved Looney Tunes characters while introducing them to a new generation. We believe it'll resonate with both longtime fans and newcomers alike." Directed by David Green, written by May December scribe Sammy Brunch, the film is produced by Chris DeNefa from DC Studios, co-boss of James Gunn. The film is based on the Looney Tunes characters and the New Yorker humor article Coyote versus Acme.
And
So,
add in the fact that James Gunn, he helped write some of the script too.
yes. And knowing the fact that this was one of the movies Warner Brothers shelved back in, 2022? I think they shelved it.
Yes.
It's finally getting a release. They're like, screw Batgirl. We're never going to release that. We'll just release to the world Coyote versus Acme. And here it is. It's going to get a worldwide release next year. I'm very excited for this because the cast is really great because we got John Cena, Will Forte, Lana Condor. And I especially love Will Forte. And knowing he's going to be in a Looney Tunes movie, it just felt so fitting. So I'm excited to see this. I haven't seen a Looney Tunes movie in theaters before, so when I go see this is going to be my first Looney Tunes movie in theaters. So I hope this does very well, since the new Looney Tunes movie that's out in theaters right now, that was also released by Ketchup Entertainment, is also doing very well, right, Mac?
Yeah, I think the reason why Ketchup Entertainment, because the movie you're referring to now is The Day the Earth Blew Up, which is about
Yes.
Daffy and Porky. That, it was a limited release, but it was a still wide release. It did super well with critics. Audiences loved it, and I think it was originally going to be a streaming movie, and Ketchup was like, "Oh wow, Looney Tunes does work in theaters," so they probably went to Warner Brothers like, "Hey, you're not using this. Can we just release it?" And they're like, "All right, how much?" It's like 70 million. Okay. So yeah.
50 million. They
50
sold
million.
it for
50 million.
less.
Yeah, 50 million. Here you go. And Ketchup is gonna do a good job releasing it. I think that I want to see people. I will say this is gonna be one of the things, like the people who are talking about, oh, release the movie, everything. They better be in the theaters. They can't be like, release this and don't show up. So
Yeah,
you show up
these
to this
people
movie.
need to show up. Jackie, were you familiar with the Coyote versus Acme movie?
Yeah, Roadrunner. Beep beep.
Yeah.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Hello.
Yes. Are you?
I would rather watch the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote anytime over Porky Pig and Daffy Duck.
No.
So I would be it just, to me, all the segments, when the Roadrunner foils Wile E. Coyote with the bomb on his head or push him off the mountain or whatever, that to me is more entertaining than watching Daffy and Porky try to protect the Earth from aliens.
Do you think?
Oh, go ahead, Mac.
Do you think the idea is good to kind of do like kind of a self-aware, like meta joke of him suing the company that he's bought all this stuff from for years? It's just like, none of your stuff works. I need to sue you for civil damages.
Good idea.
Okay, so I gotta ask to both of you, who is more iconic? Coyote or what is it? The pig name.
Porky
Who's the
Pig.
Porky Pig. Thank you. Who's more iconic?
It's the pig character.
Really? I
No,
always
no,
knew.
no, I was messing with you. I honestly no. I'd probably have to say it's hard because they're both iconic. 'Cause I feel like you can show anyone a picture of Porky Pig and Wile E. Coyote, they'll know who it is, like automatically.
Like I think Wild Coyote, I always thought of him in Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny. Like those are the two that always came to my mind. I always forgot about, Porky Pig. Jackie, what about you? Who do you think is more iconic?
I would say Wile E. Coyote, but I know all the Porky Pig fans are going to argue against it, but
Mhm.
it's more fun to watch. Porky
Definitely.
is not a funny pig to me on his own. He has to
Mhm.
put up with Daffy, whereas Wile E. Coyote, he could have anybody that he's trying to stop or whatever he's trying to do and still be hilarious.
Yeah.
I will say I am scared. The only reservation I'll have is that from the sound of this movie, I'm getting flashbacks to Looney Tunes back in action back from 2003. So that's what I'm scared of, like, if we're gonna hit that route of what this film is. And like I have a soft spot for Back in Action because I was trying to be the spiritual sequel to Space Jam. So I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't go that route.
But Christian, you did say it was combination animation and live action.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was like,
The big Daffy Duck movie, The Day of the Earth was just strict
Straight.
animation across the
yeah,
board.
that was an animated film. I didn't see that. I wasn't really like excited for it, but I liked like I said, the reason why I'm excited about Coyote is because of Will Forte, because I just love him as a comedian, and I don't think he gets enough credit as an actor. So knowing he is working or had worked on this film, and he was very passionate about it and had spoken about it, knowing there wasn't going to be release for it, it just makes me happy for him that audiences are going to see him in a nice movie. So, or hopefully will be a nice movie. But Mac, that's all the news I have. Should we get into talking Novocaine?
Yeah, let's get. If you have any news for us, make sure you leave it down in the comments below or message us on Instagram at the M&K Productions Podcast. But on today's episode, we're going to get into the second Jack Quaid film I've seen, and he's going to be primed for a big year, and that is Novocaine.
This Friday, set your alarm.
Leaving 10?
And grab your friends.
I need you to come out the house.
Novocaine is an unexpected thrill ride and an absolute blast.
Don't play with me.
I'm not trying to play with you, sir.
Novocaine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about 2025's one of its sleeper hits of March so far, and that is Novocaine, starring Jack Quaid, directed by Dan Burke and Robert Olson, is written by Lars Jacobson, and the plot of Novocaine, it follows Nathan Kane, played by Jack Quaid, a bank employee with the inability to feel pain, who goes out to rescue his coworker, played by Amber Mindhunter, Mid Thunder, and she's taken hostage by a group of bank robbers. So this is Paramount's newest film. It has a unique title. It's an action comedy film. Jack Quaid's character, he has CIPA, which is congenital insensitivity to pain with anthrosis. I think that's how you pronounce it. So he can't feel anything. He lives his life very, he's a very mild-mannered guy. Doesn't want to hit danger. He meets this girl. Her name's Sherry. He's like, oh my God, yay. Like, he starts to feel something. She gets kidnapped. He's like, well, I can't feel pain, so I need to go save her. And that's our movie. And yeah, I thought this was a movie that the trailer was going to be better than the movie itself. I'm like, oh, this will probably be like a fun trailer or anything. But no, this movie's a fun time. It is legit one of the funnest movies of the year I've probably seen so far. It has fun. It uses this concept very well. And we're going to get into that. So I'll start with Jackie. This is the movie you wanted to come back on and talk about. What did you think of Novocaine?
Well, I'm a big Jack Quaid fan too. He made a movie, I don't know if y'all ever saw that, called Plus One.
Yes.
Did you see it,
so
Kristen?
cute. Yes. Yeah, and it's got Maya Erskine from Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Well, it's a great movie, and he's great in it. And then I saw him in that. Then he went into The Boys, and his name's Huey on that. I think his name's Huey on that. But anyway, the first season, he was terrific. That series has kind of gone downhill for me. But I was ready for him. This seemed like the perfect kind of role for him. The everyman who can't feel pain and has isolated himself from society. And then because of this woman who is caught up in a bank robbery at the bank where he works, she's kidnapped, and she has been very nice to him, and he decides he'll be the one to save her. I thought the movie had everything going for it, but never delivered enough. So,
Oh,
yep,
I
I
felt that.
was a little disappointed. The whole him and his character, Nathan Kane, which how dumb I am, it didn't dawn on me until way after the movie that his last name was Kane. And that's why they called him Novocaine. I felt like it kind of went dark at times, it went comedic at times, and I didn't think the balance was that good. I really, really enjoyed, though, in addition to Jack Quaid, seeing Ray Nicholson.
Nicholson. We're big Ray Nicholsons in my household at the moment. He's great. He's so good.
I have y'all seen a movie called Borderline?
Yes, I did. He's so good in it.
Listen, when I saw him in that performance, Ray Nicholson, I thought, boy, don't talk about nepotism. This guy deserves every role that he gets.
Yeah, he's stellar in it. And if you also need to watch him in I Love You Forever. He's great in that film. Have you ever seen that, Jackie?
Never seen that. I think there was another film I saw him in where he was like a serial killer, but I can't remember what that was. But he's really great. And you can look at him and know he's Jack Nicholson's son.
Yes. Based on that smile alone,
Not that
that's
smile alone. And in Borderline, he's as crazy as Jack Nicholson was in The Shining.
Mhm. Definitely. Oh, and I want to apologize. I said Maya's last name wrong, so it's Maya's co-star, the film that had Jack Quaid starred in. Her last name is Erskine, so I apologize for mispronouncing her name. Sorry about that, y'all. Now I know how to say her last name, but yes, I wanted to say
You loved Novocaine, didn't you, Christian?
I did, and right now in our household, it's my husband's favorite film of the year so far.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of movies so far this year, and it's funny. It goes for my husband's. Sorry, Dale, I'm going to put you on blast on this. Right now, his favorite film is Novocaine. Then it's Companion. So another Jack Quaid film, and then number 3 is Borderline. So somehow all these 3 films are connected together in some way. So Jack Quaid and Ray Nicholson have taken over me and my husband's life now so far for the last year. So yeah, we're enjoying the content that these two are bringing to us. Mac, I want to know about your theater going experience and seeing Novocaine.
It was fine. I did like it. It was something where I think I said in my review that the story is probably the film's kind of weak point, especially with like the twist. And we're gonna spoil this. You haven't seen it, it's your fault.
It's
It
been
turns
almost
out
a month
that
now.
it turns out the girl that he was starting to date, Sherry, it was all a ruse that one of the robbers is actually her brother, and it was a thing. I'm like, okay, when they revealed it, I was like, okay, that's kind of like predictable, a lot stuff like that. But I think the film does play up to its gimmick because the gimmick is he can't feel pain, so they just put him in every single situation where us at the audience like, oh, that's painful, but he's just like, like. I will say the funniest scene was probably when he was getting tortured. He was like, "Hey, you gonna feel pain?" He's like, "Ow, oh, ah,
Yeah,
oh."
that's funny.
That was the worst one. Like that was funny.
Yep.
I will say there it like I don't know, but around near like the end of the film, I thought it got a little bit like it was fine. I thought, oh, it's gonna end right there, but it's just like we need one more scene. I will say though, if we ever do a Max Payne movie again, I want to see Jack Quaid as Max Payne because him in that leather jacket and that floral shirt, I just saw Max Payne. I was like, yes. But what the funny thing with Novocaine is, if you really think about it, this is just a modern version of Crank.
Yeah, you could say
Yep.
that.
I love
Yeah.
Crank. I love Crank, and I was like, yes, but it's fun. I know people are like, it's something. Who was it? I think it was IGN. They wrote like a dumb review. They said like, oh, this shows why John Wick clones aren't. I'm like, this isn't John Wick.
Yeah, this is not John Wick, and it's
No.
different from John Wick. The comparison I don't understand. The only comparison you could say that it's an action movie. That's it, But I really did enjoy Novocaine. I gave this film a B+. I was so satisfied. I loved all the chemistry he had with Amber. I enjoy the Ray Nicholson stuff, like I mentioned. Um, I kind of agree now, since I've seen the movie a little while ago. Maybe I'm not too thrilled about, knowing that Amber and Ray were brother and sister. But I imagine myself, what if in a different world where it was like they were lovers, and she was using Jack Quaid, and she falls for Jack Quaid in the end. Like how insane that twist would have been. He's like, you got to pick. Ray could have been like, you got to pick me or Jack Quaid, and she's got to decide who she's in love with more, the bad guy or the guy that's coming out to save her. Like that was one thought that came to my mind, after seeing the movie. But I think everything was pretty good. I thought Jacob Batalon was good. I liked his scenes with Jack Quaid. I thought it was really funny, like when you brought up that scene when the guy was trying to feel all the pain, and when he shows up, that was really good. I also liked the tattoo scene where he's punching the glass, where he was thrown up against the wall and he's bashing on the floor and he gets his knuckles like all bloody, and he just is stabbing the guy in the face with the glass. Oh my God. I was feeling that pain. Like every time, like I felt like Jack couldn't feel the pain, I felt like I was feeling the pain. That was like one thing I stated in my review. And I think they did a really good job doing that. And I remember seeing in an interview that Jack had to like relearn a type of acting because, like, he's on The Boys, he's done all these action movies, he's done all this crazy stuff. He had to learn to not react to pain, which I thought was interesting because we all react to pain. Actors have to react to pain, He can't react to pain like in the ways like he would, like, with the coffee cups, that coffee stuff that happens, where, he has that coffee incident at the beginning of the film. And, I thought it was really good stuff here. Like, I thought he did a really good job with his performance, and he's just a likable actor now, regardless. And I think I stated this in my review, how good or bad the film is, that Jack is going to deliver, and he's just so charming
I think
in everything.
He's done a good job of getting away from the typecast, because I remember when I saw him in The Boys, I was like, oh no, they're gonna cast him as just Huey and everything. But he's done a good job of just
No,
avoiding that. Yeah, 'cause
he's
even
done a
go
lot
ahead.
of good stuff,
Yeah.
But one thing we should point out too is Ray Nicholson is Jack Nicholson's son.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
And then there's Jack Quaid, who is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son.
Yes.
So you got,
Nepotism in this film.
there it is.
Nepotism. Steno came. It's Nepotism, the movie. Imagine if then Jack Nicholson showed up in Novocaine, and then Dennis Quaid showed up in a Novocaine. That would have been wild.
I bet Ray Nicholson gave like the dumbest performance in the film. I think he was like, I'm not gonna say like, it was overly like too cartoonish.
I don't think so, in my opinion. I think he's just an actor who can bring it, even if he hams it up a little bit. I think he's just he gets into it. And I also said this in my review, he's just an actor who really gets into his part, like his father. And whether you think it's good or bad, I just think he's just so entertaining. Even if you say it's a little cartoonish.
Well, the proof is, the thing that you're going to have to be looking for, at least I'm going to be looking for, is the role that is not the maniac, crazy guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he could pull off, just if he could have played the Jack Quaid role in Novocaine.
Yeah.
That kind, if he could switch his mannerisms and all off.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to think what other roles I've seen Ray Nicholson in besides, because he was also in Smile and not Smile, Smile 2. He was in I forgot. Jackie, you probably have seen it, but Something from Tiffany's with Zoe Deutsch. It's
Yes,
an Amazon Prime movie. I forgot he was in that.
But I
And
don't
I didn't
remember
really
him
like
at all.
his. Yeah, and I forgot he was in it. And I didn't think his performance was that good in it in my review that I wrote at the time. And he was in a series called Panic on Amazon. And then he was also in Promising Young Woman. He had one of one of the
That's right.
supporting characters. But Yeah, so he's been appearing in some stuff. I think probably then it goes into now as I'm sitting here thinking, is he only good in the characters where he goes crazy,
Yeah.
but or like a maniac type of role? But I guess I need to see him more, but I can't judge that totally since he only did something from Tiffany's.
I just got sent a notice of a movie coming out with Jack Quaid and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Is that
Oh,
his
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
Neighborhood Watch.
Huh?
Neighborhood Watch.
I guess that's it. Where it's supposed to be Jack Quaid's really dramatic role, but this is going to be his breakthrough role.
He looks like this is an older film that he did because he looks kind of young. I don't know if like I saw the trailer for it, but I do want to see that. I do want to watch Neighborhood Watch. 'Cause
Yeah, I want to see it too. You know, I think he plays somebody a character that's mentally challenged,
yes.
and so you'll see how he can, you know, what kind of talent his range is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, did you like him in Scream, Jackie?
I remember he was the villain, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What I liked about him in Scream was he's the last person you would suspect.
Yeah. That's the great about the Scream movies.
Is he going to be back for the next one? Everybody else is.
They did not say, but
Even the people who are dead, they're bringing back.
yeah, they are. But I don't think so, but I'm sure it'll be some kind of surprise if he is. But real quickly before we wrap up, I do want to mention that the directors of the film, Dan Burke and Robert Olson, did work on a oh my goodness, I can't talk. Another good film called Villains. If you all haven't seen that with Kira Sedgwick and Bill Skarsgård and Micah Monroe. If you haven't seen that, that film is really, really good. Where the directing style is really good. If you liked Novocaine, then you might and you want to see more of their work, check out Villains, and it's like a horror comedy that I did not expect to really enjoy it. It was like one of the first movies I watched during COVID, and I enjoyed it. Like I watched it twice, I think, because it was just so good because of the performances that Maya and Bill Skarsgård bring to the screen. But they did work on some other stuff. But I'm excited. Whatever Dan Burke and Robert Olson do next, they definitely have my attention.
Can I ask real quickly? You said your husband's favorite film was
This one,
this
yeah,
one.
Novocaine.
My favorite film so far this year is Black Bag.
I haven't seen that yet.
Have you seen it, Matt?
Which one?
Black Bag with
Oh no, I
Steven
think
Soderbergh.
I think it might be coming soon to streaming. I was kind of watching then.
Yeah, it's Peacock.
I really liked it.
A lot of people liked it. I love Steven Soderbergh, but I missed seeing it in theaters. I saw some other stuff, but I couldn't get around to seeing it, and I wanted to see it. I couldn't even see Presents. That was his first movie he released back like in January. I didn't even get to see that.
Yet,
It had Julia Fox
out
in
the
it.
gate.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even get to see that. So Steven Soderbergh like cooks these movies like fresh bread. They come out of the oven so quickly, you know. Good
Well,
on
Black
him. I
Bag-
just haven't seen any of them recently.
Black Bag is like a huge jigsaw puzzle, and every character is a piece of the puzzle. And
Mhm.
you think it fits in a certain place, but it doesn't. And until you get it everything lined up, then you see the complete picture.
Well, I'm not surprised how good it was because of Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender too. So I mean, they're
Both
both
of them
stellar.
are good. So good.
Yeah,
And the guy
but
from Bridgerton is in it.
yeah, Reggae
Yeah.
Jean Paul. I think how you say his name is. I think that's how you say his name. Is that's the one from season 1 of Bridgerton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right. He's cool. But I do want to watch Black Bag. I'm definitely gonna watch it when it hits Peacock. But yeah, I think we should wrap up because White Lotus starts soon.
Oh,
got
goodness
Lotus.
So
we'll wrap it up though. But Novocaine, what are your all's final grade for Novocaine? I give it a B plus.
I also gave it a B plus. I really did enjoy it. I'm gonna definitely add the film to my film collection.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Ooh. All right, Jackie, we gotta find you another Jack Quaid movie that you're gonna enjoy. Next Jack Quaid.
But yeah, no, this I guess we will wrap it up. I already went over the box office numbers because we saw Minecraft is, dominating everything. But I guess I'll leave off with this. Rapunzel, the live action Disney movie. Indefinite hold on production after Snow White's failure. So, what's gonna happen?
Mhm.
Let's see if Lilo and Stitch, which a lot of people seem to be excited for, if it can turn it around. If not, then this might be the end of the live action Disney remakes.
I think this is gonna save it, but we'll see.
That's Tangled you're talking about, right?
Yes, to live
Tangled, yeah.
action Tangled.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a live action.
I think it's on the shelf
Done.
indefinitely.
You think Lilo and Stitch is the last one they're doing?
Snow White is a bitter taste for Disney.
What did you think of it, Jackie, when you saw it?
5 out of 10.
Whoa!
Yeah, I thought Rachel Zegler's voice was amazing. I thought the story was stretched out. It could have been done a lot shorter. I thought the added songs, even though I love the writers of the music that they added, was great. I didn't have come out whistling any songs from the movie. I thought not having a Prince was a big mistake, and
Mhm.
so it was just mediocre for me, just average.
Then, since you gave both Snow White and Novocaine a 5 out of 10, which one would you rather watch again?
A Novocaine for sure.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do like Andrew Burnap, and I hope he gets better work in the
He
future.
reminded me of Jim Carrey.
Really?
Yes. Every time he came on screen, I thought, that's Jim Carrey.
He's a very handsome man, I think. I think he would have been a great prince. And then when I heard her, Rachel Zegler, say on the carpet, oh, she's not going to be saved by the prince. And then where she was like saying that, oh, her co-stars could get cut. I was like, ooh, Rachel, don't say
I
that.
thought that was the worst statement to me just about of all she made, was saying, even if his scenes are all cut out, it doesn't affect the story.
No, I just thought this is going to make right now, what she has been saying hasn't been helping the movie. And then she thinks it's all her fault that, the movie didn't do well or something. I don't think it's necessarily her, the way I think she needs better media training. I think she needs better, I think she needs to be more of a likable personality, to sell her films. Yeah, even if she has to ham it up for audiences, since she is selling movie tickets, to get people to go see the film, even though she's already a talented actress, but, she can't be mean. But then there's also the fact that Disney, didn't do well. They did, it was delayed, and the dwarfs, there was so much controversy that it's not her fault. There was just so much to it, because I saw her statement that she put out where she's like, giving the finger to the world, and I was like, all right, this is Rachel. It's okay. It's not your fault, girl. Calm down.
My favorite. I'll end it with this. My favorite meme from it was a photo, if I could find it.
Is it the Lord Farquhar? Because I
No.
love that.
No, it was the Instagram thing. It was a screenshot that says Rachel Zegler was like #1 movie in the world, and someone commented. They said, "What in the Hunter Biden have you been smoking? You have the worst opening in his Disney history." So yeah, no, disaster.
Wasn't it worse than Dumbo?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, at least with Dumbo, you had Tim Burton. That was
Tim Burton and Michael Keaton.
So
yeah,
and Colin Farrell.
They were casting aspersions about it's worse than Dumbo. Worse than Dumbo. I pretty much enjoyed Dumbo.
I like Dumbo.
Dumbo was cute. It was cute for what it was. Was it stellar? No, but it was cute. I love Dumbos. I love Dumbos. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I love Dumbo, and I love elephants, so I knew I was going to enjoy it for what it was.
Hooked.
But anyway, that has been our episode. We want to thank everyone for listening. We want to thank our patrons as well too. We got a big news coming up, so stay tuned on that. Make sure you go on to patreon.com and subscribe to us. It's a free trial for 7 days. After that, it's $1.50 a month. Every dollar helps support the show. We want to thank Jackie for coming back on and talking Novocaine. It was awesome.
Fun.
Awesome. Where can the good folks find you?
They can find me on YouTube at Jackie K. Cooper. Go there. If you enjoy what you see, subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel, folks.
Yeah. And link in the description. He's going to be tagged too, so check him out. Good stuff. He's going to talk about Minecraft.
Yeah.
But
We covered it all.
But until next time, I've been Mac. This has been Kristen. And this has been Jackie. And you've been listening to the M&K Productions Podcast. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.